This is Yaxley Public Hall, and this section of the hall, as you can see, is made of wood and was originally used as a mess room for officers and soldiers who had been involved in the 1418 war, the Great War. It was then donated to the people of Yaxley, or given to the people of Yaxley, to be used for any kind of function that they wanted to. And they used to have tea dances and things like that here on a regular basis. Young people's clubs, the scouts and guides might well have used it going back in the day. So it's in 3 years' time, 2 years' time rather, it will be 100 years old. And now here we have the brick-built section of Yaxley Public Hall that was added to the wooden section in the 1950s, and it was built by various people in the 1950s, people from Yaxley. Now bear in mind that at that time Yaxley was a well-known place for London Brick Company, and there were many brick manufacturing places around the Yaxley area. So I assume, but I may be wrong, that the bricks originally came from one of the original London Brick Company factories. So as you can imagine, the upkeep for quite a big hall as it is, and such an old one, is pretty tremendous. As an example, we recently refurbished the toilet, so we've now got a ladies' toilet, a disabled facility and a gents' toilet, and that cost us over £6,000 to sort out. There are other problems. We have a major problem at the moment, which is a leaky roof, and we've had quotes ranging between £6,000 and £14,500 to repair that. We also need to do things like change the windows in the main building, sort out flooring, and hopefully eventually put in a new kitchen. And we'd like to be able to do all of this before the anniversary in 2021. So we're down to 2 years or so. The kitchen, as you can see, it was sort of rebuilt many years ago, but already have a few problems, as you can imagine. We had a problem with one of the sinks recently that got blocked. We managed to get that sorted, thankfully, and it would be nice just to tidy it up. The painting, actually, I did it myself. Must be 5 years or so ago. Could do with a new floor as well. This is the original from the 1950s, so that's well over 60 years old. So that could be done with a change. As you can see, it's beginning to cost lots of money. Downstairs, there's 3 mains gas heaters that were installed in the late 80s after Yaxley had got gas for the first time in, I think, 1987. Prior to that, we used to have 2 coke stoves. Blimey, they used to take some keeping. All of this area is also our land, or belongs to the public hall. There are 2 things we'd like to do with it. Obviously, we'd still like to be able to use it as an outside area for when we do things like village fetes or what have you. But it would also be nice to be able to use it as some form of car parking. And if we could get the money, we'd put a car park down, and that would help the local residents, because there's not a lot of parking around here, and everything there is on the street. And we've got a restaurant round the corner with lots of people that visit. As you can see here, we've got an area where we try and store some of the rubbish, broken chairs and such like, because it's difficult to get rid of. So we wait until we've got sufficient to fill a skip. We order a skip, but of course that costs us £170, £180 every time, which is not a cheap thing. So a few years ago, we were donated 60 or so chairs from the local hospital, would you believe, Peterborough City Hospital, when it closed. So the old Peterborough District Hospital before it became Peterborough City. This is the sort of state they were in. So then we decided to try and buy some newer ones. So we bought 40 new ones at great expense. Well, here we are back in the main hall, joining all the other fellow Yaxley Amateur Players group who are rehearsing for the stage play, The Ghost Train. Interestingly, Yaxley Amateur Players has been operating for 40 years, as I may have mentioned earlier, and they've also got a junior group which is ever so well frequented by, well, at the moment I think there are over 60 children involved. The adult group's been running for 40 years now, The children's group, the Yaxley Amateur Players Youth, which is from the ages of 6 to 16, they started in 1983. Also regular users of the group include Norman Cross Crusaders. They meet on a Monday night. There are 2 lots of table tennis used in the room, and there are various other things like jiu-jitsu and various bands come into practice. So it's a well-used hall, and we've got lots of people want to, for example, we've got a yoga group want to start here as well. So we're looking obviously to increase the revenue like that, but at the same time we're very short of money, and that's why we're pleading for more. Thank you.